What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Think Twice, a weekly show where we talk about things going on in the world of Magic the Gathering, gaming, and pop culture. For episode 24, I'm your host, Justin Parnell, joined by my co-host, Ali Aintrazi. And this week, we're going to be talking about 2017 in review. We're going to be talking about Magic in review. We're going to be talking about pop culture in review. And at the end, we're going to look ahead to what the future holds for this Think Twice podcast heading into 2018. Well, I know what I did. I just ate a bunch. Just pretty much. I ate so much food, man.
Yeah, I just went back to the past.
What do you mean? You watched all of the Back to the Future movies. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
That's what I thought.
No, I just went to see family. I saw my mom, my dad, then hung out with Amberly. And then Amberly went to go see her grandparents. And then I saw my cousins the day after Christmas. So it was just a lot of family travel back and forth, saying hi, hello, eating, greeting, trading gifts, the huge.
Okay. Good old Christmas, the old Christmas time, Aru.
What was your favorite gift that you got?
Well, I'm old now, so I don't get as many gifts.
Yeah, me too.
Honestly, my favorite one was my girlfriend and I got each other like year-long gifts, kind of. Mm-hmm. I got her actually the same thing I got you, which is a
Movie Pass.
A year-long subscription to Movie Pass, which is what is allowing us to see a bunch of movies this year and previously the last few months. So I got her that, and she got me a Seasons Pass to Busch Gardens. So we're going to do that a bunch over the next year, so I'm super excited about that. So that's the best thing, because that's going to be something we're both going to get to enjoy on both sides for the next year. What about you? What was yours? What about your favorite?
I had two. Obviously, I really like the one you got me, the Movie Pass, which you just explained. And then I didn't get many gifts, actually. But also, Amberly, my girlfriend, got me a picture frame with a picture in it that has like all the stars, and it has like
that's a really big picture frame.
Well,
all of the stars.
It has the nice sky outline of what it looked like in the sky when we first met. It has location, which is Roanoke, Virginia. Has a date. Has all that stuff, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was able to see my family too. I have. I get to see half of my family. So my immediate family is really small. I'm an only child. I don't have any siblings, so I just have my mom and my dad. But my extended family is gigantic. My mom is one of 7, and my dad is one of 9. So
jeez. I
went to go visit my dad's side of the family this past weekend. And I'm going to go visit my mom's side of the family this weekend, because it's so many people, you have to just split it up in between 2.
Right.
But we're fortunate that it kind of just lands on two different weekends, and we just decided with my mom's side of the family that it just makes sense for everyone else to do it the week after Christmas. So that's always fun. So I get to kind of have 2 Christmas weekends.
Man, you just getting around,
rolling in the Christmas, rolling all that food.
Christmas.
That's really what the holidays are about. Is seeing family and eating food in front of them.
And getting fat.
Yeah, dude, I've had so much. I've had, my diet has been awful. It's been atrocious the last week. But that's just, that's what you got to do. Just eat and be merry. Isn't that the saying? And nap.
Yeah, something like
that.
Be
merry and nap.
Eat,
I think.
Be merry. See unicorns. Whatever.
Yeah, man. I definitely could get to the point where I start having unicorn-based food hallucinations. Or food-based unicorn hallucinations. I have not eaten any unicorns recently. That's way too expensive. I cannot afford unicorn.
Nah, I can't either. A unicorn feast is pretty pretty steep.
Yeah.
And rare.
Yeah, I definitely do not have 3 generic and 1 black mana.
There you go.
Yeah. So, we have a fun show lined up for today.
Yes.
This is one that I've been looking forward to for a while. So here's what we're going to do. We have the best of in 2017 for both Magic the Gathering and for pop culture. Movies, music, TV shows, other gaming. So what we're going to do is you, myself, and our director, who's not going to be here, but he gave his answers to Director Jon Choi, and we're going to go over all of our best ofs for the year of 2017. So once we finish with that, we're going to jump in to what we have planned for 2018. Look forward to the future a little bit. 2018 for what's going to be happening with ThinkTwice. We have a lot of really awesome plans lined up for that, and we're finally able to share those with you guys. We've been keeping it under wraps for a while we finalize some details, but we're to the point where we can finally say, yes, this is where the show's going to be going. This is how you guys can be involved, and we're super excited about those things. So,
me too. That's the part I'm most excited for.
Okay, awesome. So, but before we get to that point, we are going to do our 2017 review. So, Ollie, anything else before we jump into our first section?
No, let's
All
go.
right. I'm super excited. We'll see you guys in just a minute. So, Ollie, this is going to be our best of MTG 2017 section thing of the podcast that we're recording right now.
Is this your favorite section of all the sections in the podcast?
This is my favorite section of all of the sections that we're talking about right now, for sure.
Dang.
I know.
All right.
Yeah.
There we
all
go.
the sections we're talking about right now at this moment, this is definitely my favorite one.
Sectionception.
So
say that 3 times fast.
So I have 7 questions for you and for me and for Director Jon Choi. So let's just get started. Go down the line.
All right.
What was the best Magic release of 2017?
I'm going to go with Ixalan.
Okay.
Because I think Ixalan's a great set. It had a bunch of really fun cards. I think all the flip cards are really sweet. Like all enchantments one, Search for Azcanta, Argos Bloodfast, Legion's Landing, are all very powerful cards they normally won't get to play with, but they are powerful because it's like it was a good balance. Like if you flip them, the card's obviously very powerful, but they're not like broken. I like that. I also like the other ones too, like the artifacts like Primal Amulet, Conqueror's Galleon. I think they're really sweet cards, and those cards will be everywhere, not just in Standard, but Commander, Modern, whatever. Transform cards are sweet.
I like Transform. It's a mechanic I've come around on, and I think Ixalan's use of it's kind of perfect, honestly.
Yeah, and also the flip side, like the lands look cool. They're like all treasury, like the golden.
Yeah, because they go from some of the flip cards are like action things to like landscapes and portraits, which are really they're nice. I think Ixalan. One thing I really liked about Ixalan is that it proved that Transform, it doesn't have to be like a set mechanic. Like it doesn't have to be like it was on Innistrad, you know. You can put it in spots. They tried it first in like, you know, like spot transform and Magic Origins with the Flipwalkers, and then again in Ixalan, but just like a tiny little bit. But it was enough that made sense. It made sense to the world, and it made sense mechanically, which was really cool.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I hope they keep carrying that over. It's kind of like Planeswalkers, but not as frequent. Like you get them sometimes, but there's cool to have. Like maybe like once every 3 sets or something, or every 4 sets.
Yeah, like once a year.
Flip
like
cards
are
fun.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's fun.
That.
What about
Okay,
you?
so my best Magic release of 2017, I'm going to go with Unstable. Uh, Unstable, not obviously a regular scheduled Magic set. Uh, we had Aether Revolt, Amonkhet, Hour of Devastation, and Ixalan come out this year as our kind of our regular sets, and then there were a bunch of supplemental products, and Unstable kind of just like squeezed on in at the very end of the year, a December release, but it's proven to be a lot of fun. It's a much better design set than Unhinged and Unglued were. Even though they were like nice, wacky sets, I don't think they had a lot of replay value, but I feel like Unstable does. So I'm really happy that this set exists. Um, it gave us a lot of fun cards. The lands are beautiful. And hopefully this can make a positive impact on maybe making some of these cards legal in Commander, which is something that you've been asking for a few months now.
Yeah.
And I think that how this set is designed, right now these cards are legal, and I'm putting like air quotation quotes around being legal. Like for another few weeks they're legal, but I'm hoping that that the rules committee for Commander can kind of see like, well, maybe if we just kind of carefully manage this, we can have a lot of these cards be legal in Commander, which I think would be super awesome.
Honestly, I just think Unstable needs to be legal, not Unglued, Unhinged, just Unstable.
Yeah, I actually agree. Honestly,
Yeah, you don't need the other stuff. Like Unstable has some sweet commanders that could be legal in Commander.
Yeah, they don't really break the game.
Yeah, and the ones that do, you can just ban. Like, just say Unstable is legal. These are the ban cards from Unstable. But Unglued, Unhinged, again, like, nah, that's just... They're too wacky.
I think I would be fine with that. I think I would legitimately be fine with that. Because even though, like, then you're like, oh, but you miss out on X card, Y card, and Z card. It's like, yes, you do. There are a handful of cards in those sets that...
Very few, though,
that work, but, like... The percentage of cards...
Unstable is the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. The percentage of cards that work in those sets is the same percentage of cards that don't work in Unstable. So it's a really small percentage, and then a really large percentage for Unstable of cards that do work. So I'd be fine with that trade-off.
Yeah. And speaking of Unstable, I actually went ahead and just bought 20 of each basic land.
Yeah, it's smart. It's smart. If you want them, get them.
Yeah, I got 20 of each. So
they look awesome.
They look awesome.
Yeah. So Director Jon Choi, his best Magic release of 2017, and I know this is somewhat of a dagger for us, is the beta release of MTG Arena.
Yep, he's just rubbing it
in because he has it and we don't. But the only thing he has told us is that it is fun, which is good. That's a good sign. It's a good sign for going into next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited for it. So
we're both excited for it, and he obviously he knows more than we know.
He's just swimming in it.
He is. He's daggering us, and he's not even talking right now. Okay, so next question, Ollie. Best card of 2017.
This is going to go back to my Ixalan thing. I think Search for Ascanta is my favorite / best card of 2017.
It's a good answer.
I think it's good in standard. I think it's good in modern. Might even maybe good enough for legacy.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think it is good enough to be played in legacy. I don't think it's going to be a player in legacy, if that makes sense.
Right, it's like the one of Sylvan Library, but like maybe like the one of Search for Ascanta.
Exactly. That's perfect. Yes.
Yeah, I think the card it's just a sweet card, man. The card is awesome. It ramps you in blue. You can't do that normally. I actually just enjoy the card. It's just a super fun card. It's like the one card I really enjoy in standard that's actually competitive. I enjoy a lot of cards in standard, but all the cards I enjoy aren't necessarily as good as Search for Ascanta is. Sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. My vote is going to go to a card that has been legal for almost a year now, or been in existence, and that's going to be Yeheni Undying Partisan. Obviously, Yeheni immediately stole a place in my heart. Ironically, Ali, you were one of the first people in the entire world to see this card.
Yes, actually, I spoiled this card.
Yes, this was your preview card for for Ether Revolt.
Yes.
And you told me, like, when the article went live, we started talking about it, and I was like, I think this is okay. I'm not sure. It's really cheap, and like I was really torn about it. I didn't know how to feel, and then I was like, I'll give this a shot in my mono black at that time, Liliana Heretical Healer Commander deck, and Yahenni has been the de facto commander for that deck, and it's going to be really hard for anyone to dethrone it. So
it's funny because actually, I think I posted a Yahenni commander deck in the article when I spoiled Yahenni.
I do not remember. I don't remember the contents of the article, just because I was just like so enthralled by the creature, because I was really torn, because I was like, this looks so unpowerful, but it also has like multiple things that I always state are some of the best keywords in Magic, which are haste and sacrifice a creature you control.
What about indestructible?
And indestructible thrown on top of that. So it is a sweet card, and I've loved it.
I didn't think it'd be good enough for standard play, so I think I just wrote a commander article on it.
And it's definitely been good enough for Commander. Director Choi said the Scarab God as his choice. I think that is an easy distinction to make. That one, it's a fantastic card. Came out this year, fun in every format and very good in a lot of them. I came really close to playing that card in Modern at the Invitational. In a like a Sultai type Jund deck.
Man, it's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so on the other side, Ollie, what was your worst card of 2017?
I'm going to go with the Tune with Ether.
Yeah.
It's a card that is oppressive. I've talked about this card a lot. The 2 energy represents a bunch of stuff, like 2 damage, draw a card, lose 1 life, a +1 counter, 2/3 of a Thopter. It just represents a ton of stuff. Just a ton of stuff that's oppressing. And the thing is, like, the problem with it, the reason it's the worst card is because you can't even really ban it.
It's the worst card because it's the best card.
Yeah. And you can't really ban it because it's not like its power is subtle. It's so subtle, and it just kills you before you know it. Like it's that and Rogue Refiner. Their power is so subtle you don't really notice them, but I promise you that the best cards in the deck, obviously.
Yeah.
So
I think Rogue Refiner is a lot less subtle because Rogue Refiner on the surface is a card that would see play in formats sometimes anyway. Like if it was just a 3/2 for 3 that drew a card, I think there are plenty of decks that would just play that.
Yeah.
Like in if energy didn't exist in a normal format. So
yeah, the card a 3/2 for 3 that drew a card is good enough. The fact that adds 2 energy is just like why? Yeah. But
yeah. I'm gonna go with a card from Kaladesh Block as well, but it's not an energy card. And Director Jon Choi agrees with me on this one. We both selected Felidar Guardian, and I don't know of his specific reasons, but mine is this card on its own represents like the low in design for Wizards, because this was a card that was literally just missed, like they just forgot that Saheeli existed when it's like the face of all of their marketing and on the booster packs and on the booster box, and like they just forgot this card existed or ignored it, and then they print Felidar Guardian. That's a 2-card, basically like a Splinter Twin Deceiver Exarch combo in Standard, which they were specifically trying to avoid, and it's just like I felt like so little thought was put into it, and even though obviously,
I think what happened was they thought. Sorry, let's say I think they thought like, okay, we can put blink anything except a land. And they're like, okay, but why does it matter if we blink a land or not? Like, let's just stack it on there. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
let people blink lands. So they said any permanent instead of saying like enchantment, creature, artifact. Yeah. They're like, okay, well, the only thing we're leaving out is land. Do we care about lands? And they're like, nah, we don't care about that blink lands, and it's also less text, so let's just make it blink anything. Yeah. but they forgot anything also means planeswalkers, and then
Yeah, but
I think
sure,
that's
you're
what
right.
happened.
But you can't forget that.
Right, I think that's what happened. But
You
yeah,
can't, and this is just like, honestly, it's going to be interesting because this card, I believe the printing of this card, in addition to the rest of kind of Kaladesh block, is what is going to make Magic for the better for the next foreseeable future in Standard, because now they have like a play design team whose goal is to make sure that Felidar Guardians and Energy don't happen. So, okay, Ollie, what is your best moment of 2017?
my best moment of 2017 is when we both top 8 the team open in Baltimore, SG team open in Baltimore. Me, you, and our good buddy
Steven Mann.
Yeah,
That is also mine. That was my best moment, Magic related, of 2017. It was a little bittersweet because we didn't win, but it was still awesome to be able to play in a tournament. Like I said, the episode right after that was one of my dreams, that to ultimately to win a tournament with you as my partner, but getting pretty close still felt pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first time we top 8'd together, yep. And it was together, but more so than just together. It was like,
yeah,
we were on the same team.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, because the only other time I think we've top 8'd the same anything has been like PTQs years ago.
Yeah, years ago, eons ago.
On planes that don't even exist anymore in Magic ago.
Yeah.
Director Jon Choi selected our friend Jerry Thompson winning Pro Tour Amonkhet, which I think is a great moment also. And if we didn't have a personal moment, I think that might have been one of mine too.
Yeah, I agree with that. He did. He also donated. Yeah, that was a great moment.
Yeah, yeah. Jerry's awesome. That was a great moment for him. Well deserved for sure. So now on the other token, what is your worst moment of 2017?
Energy, because it's not over. It's not even over yet. It's still going on.
So the worst moment is the whole moment, the whole year of Energy?
Yeah, because it's going to be here. It's going to go into 2018. It's not like, okay, new year, no more energy. Nope, this thing's going to even leak its way into 2018. And it's going to have ripple effects until it's gone. It's just leave energy, leave, and don't come back.
But it won't leave, and it will be back.
Yeah, correct.
My worst moment of 2017 happened at the very beginning of the year, and that is Reflector Mage being banned in Standard. Because, like, seriously, this is like the sons are paying for the sins of the father.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This card, should it have been maybe considered during Collected Company's reign? Ultimately, probably not, but there was more of an argument for it.
Yeah.
Like, I also think that Felidar Guardian's printing got this banned because they knew by the time Felidar Guardian was scheduled to be printed that there was going to be a Jeskai colored control deck with Saheeli and Felidar Guardian. And I agree that if Reflector Mage was still around, Reflector Mage would have easily been the best card in that deck.
Right.
So Reflector Mage continued to pay for the sins of other cards, and ultimately,
this reminds me very similar of like in Modern where Jund got Bloodbraid Elf banned, and it was like, okay, Jund's still too good. Now it's been Deathrite Shaman, and it's like, well, here's the thing, Deathrite Shaman,
as it turned out,
Deathrite Shaman's too good. I think Bloodbraid's fine for the format. So
yeah, Bloodbraid definitely paid for Deathrite. It took the bullet because Deathrite was so new; it just come out. Like it had literally just come out. And Bloodbraid Elf, because it was like the obvious, this card is extremely powerful. Let's just get rid of it, without actually looking for the real culprit, which was Deathrite Shaman. Yeah,
easily Deathrite Shaman.
Director Choi selected. You and I losing in top 4 of the Baltimore Open. Obviously,
Aw.
I can't argue with that. Worst moment.
No, I
Worst
can't either.
moment of forever.
for 2017.
Yes. Okay. Now on to some lore, Ollie. What was your best magic story of 2017?
John agrees with me. Agrees with me. We both say the race part 1, and it's just talking about like Jace and Vraska, and they're obviously going after the immortal sun, but it's just like the story and the emotions tied with those characters, which spoke a lot to me.
Yeah, I think that was a good. I think that was a good one.
There are a lot of quotes that I was like, dang. And then there's another quote that Vraska would say or Jason would say, and I'd be like, man, this applies to me. This is great. I could relate to it on a personal level, and that just like struck a nice chord with me, and just gonna stick with me for a while.
Yeah. My pick is the story entitled "Endure" by Michael Yi Chow. This is an Hour of Devastation story, and this is actually one that we covered on the podcast in a lot of detail. This is the story where Samut's spark ignites. And this is, I feel like this was the turning point for how red as a color was kind of talked about and viewed as a color of emotion and passion rather than lack of thinking and quick reaction and
rush,
anger.
haste.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think like the two main characters in the story, which are Samut, which is obviously always depicted in Magic as a red-green card, and then Hazoret, which is depicted as a red card. The way those two characters are written are phenomenal, and I think this is like, it's seriously like, I hope we continue to see that type of storytelling, because I really love, like, I absolutely loved as a whole the Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation stories.
Oh, me too. I love them too. I loved a lot of things about it. The only things, my only gripe was the god fights, I guess. I kind of wish we knew a little more about Ronus a little bit, but
Yeah,
like,
sure.
that's it's just very small. Because obviously, like, Ronus, apparently, the Scorpion God was his brother. I kind of would like a little more information on that. I kind of wish I knew who the Locust God was, or who the Scorpion God was, before they became
Sure.
who they are because of Bolus. But outside of that, it was amazing. Like, and that's just a small gripe. Like,
Yeah, I think the writing for those stories were great. This was just my favorite one of the entire year, and honestly, this was a really good year for Magic Story, just in general.
I agree. I think it's
Probably the
I think
best
it's
year
the best
overall.
year.
Yeah, like start to finish.
I will say that the best
I think
year.
it's the best year start
Yes,
to finish.
absolutely.
I think in past years there have been some really good stories in isolation. I still think probably the best Magic story is the last Eldritch Moon story, that depicted Emrakul and Jace battling in their mind, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But a lot of really good ones this year. So kind of on that same token, and this doesn't have to be story related, it can be whatever you want, but what is the best Magic character of 2017?
My favorite is by a mile Vraska. John also agrees with me with that as well. For me, it's because she just caught me by surprise. Like, I was like, Vraska, okay, cool. I don't hate her. I don't like her. She's just a character. But as time went on, you learned her story, you learned her background, how she was like basically abused and tortured, and she still like came out, instead of being like an awful person, came out as a person that has her guard up, but is also just so kind and still like wants to help people and cares. Like, sure, like, she obviously has the hard part where like she wants to assassinate people that hurt her or that hurt her family, but we can also tell that she has a soft spot, and that and the revenge spot is more because of how she was treated, and just the way she interacts with Jace and everything, and like how she gives him another chance, and how she treats her crew. Like, after reading her stories, it's just like, I don't know. She's my favorite character for this year.
I picked Hazoret And I'll say I went back and forth between Vraska and Hazaret. And we did all of these. We picked all of our stuff in isolation. So we almost had a triple score for Vraska.
Oh, wow.
But I ultimately went with Hazaret because I think for a lot of what I said about the story that I like the most, Endure, Hazaret as a character it's very rare that you see a red character fleshed out the most in Magic Story, and during the Amonkhet block, that Hazaret was certainly fleshed out the most. It was the most interesting. You saw every side of red. You saw passion, emotion. You saw anger. You saw aggression. But ultimately, Hazaret at the end stood as a paragon of strength. And
yeah, you saw love too.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. And ultimately, that is actually the lasting impression that Hazaret has on the people of Amonkhet after Bolas and the gods have all left or been killed. Is that the love that Hazaret had and still has when she thought she was going to die, basically, for the actual people of Amonkhet, and the love that they reciprocated back to her, which actually allowed her kind of to defeat like the Scorpion God.
I kind of want to. I kind of want to go back to Amonkhet, or just see what's happening on Amonkhet. Like eventually,
yes, and that's the thing. Like I'm actually legitimately, because it seemed like kind of an isolated story, because it was like this story of basically like death and destruction at the end. But after all of that ended, we still have denizens of Amonkhet and Hazaret there as their only god left, leading them.
Yeah,
which I think is awesome. Not only that, Hazaret had a hell of a year in paper Magic as well as a character.
But also, I mean, the Locust God. What happened to the Locust God? What happened to the Scarab God? Like the Scorpion God died by Hazaret's undying fury.
Yes,
but
I think the Scarab God is
going with Bolas
potentially. Yeah, but it remains to be seen. But we just don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, and the Locust God, his command was to destroy
the
Heckma. So he's still there. So we'll see what happens.
So I'm definitely interested in going back, and I'm super I'm excited to see an Amonkhet where Hazaret is the not only the focal point, but really the only god left. I think that would be really cool. I think that'd be a cool story.
And how she rebuilt her society / whatever. Yeah,
totally. Okay, so Hazaret and Vraska, those are two really good choices. Okay, Ollie, that's 2017, man, for Magic. Do you have any other thoughts, feelings, emotions?
No. I mean, last thing I want to say is I agree with you. This year was amazing for a story. And I think that's the thing I'll take away most out of all this. The story and our top 4 finish are the two biggest things for Magic for me this year.
I think it's for Magic for the entire world.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. But we are... that's going to wrap up the Magic section of our look back at 2017. And now we're going to go on to our pop culture review for 2017. So we're going to jump out for just a moment and be back. All right, 2017 pop culture. As we like to do, we talked about a lot of movies, music, TV shows, stuff that doesn't have to do with Magic this year. So,
do you know what this reminds me of? This section?
What does this remind you of?
Pop-up video.
Oh man, I remember that.
It's so old. Yeah, it's like our generation.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't even think.
Yeah,
I bet like half of our viewers don't even have a clue what that is.
What pop-up video is?
Not even a clue.
It's so old, but yeah, you said pop culture, and just for some reason just popped in my head, and nostalgia.
I could see the connection. Okay, so just like for the Magic section, we're gonna go down a list of our best and worst of 2017, mostly best for this section because there's a lot of good stuff. So, Ollie, we'll start with this one right off the bat. What is your best movie of 2017?
I really liked It. I thought It was really good. I enjoyed. I mean, God, that has to have one of the best opening scenes of any movie for me
Yeah,
ever.
it's great.
It's just pulled me in, and it just like it gets you in right away. It's just crazy. It's great. I think it's the best Pennywise has been portrayed by any person.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean,
So
I love Tim Curry, but uh, this portrayal of Pennywise was way better.
yeah, and I'm looking forward to
Chapter
two.
two.
Chapter
Yeah.
2, yeah. So
I liked it. I
that was
liked
mine.
it as well. But my pick was actually a movie that you and I saw together. I think kind of towards the beginning of the year, and that was Logan. Logan is a rated R / very realistic look at the character of Wolverine in essentially what's close to present day, maybe a little bit in the future. The reason I love this movie so much, one, I think the story was phenomenal. I think Hugh Jackman and Sir Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier both did a fantastic job as like very real people. And I like my ultimately the favorite thing about this movie is this is my dream to see is I love the X-Men, and I want to see them in a space that seems like it's real life. And that's exactly what this movie was. They even explained like the continuity connection. Also, spoilers for everything we're going to be talking about in this section, because we're going to have spoilers for like 12 different things. But how they were able to make the continuity connection with all of the previous like X-Men properties that have happened in like the last 15 years, with the comic books that Logan found on Lara. I just thought the movie was great. I think it pulls at your heartstrings a little bit. My girlfriend recently watched it, thought she's going to go in for like a bust 'em up like action movie, and like cried multiple times through the movie.
Yeah, it was really good. It was good.
I think it was I just think it was great. I think the movie was phenomenal. I've only seen it the one time, but it made such an effect on me, and I enjoyed it so much. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to see it again soon. But I just think it's great. It's everything that I've ever wanted, like out of an X-Men property. I think it looked awesome. The story was great. It made you feel real feelings. So, yeah, it wins for me for sure. Director Jon Choi picked Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which was one of the movies I enjoyed the most this year. Also,
yeah, that was a good movie too. I enjoyed that movie as well.
All right, Ali, what is your best TV show of 2017?
I'm gonna go with Orange is the New Black.
Okay, do you know what season came out this year? It was like season 4.
I'm not sure the exact number, but I just like the last season of where they basically took the prison hostage or took over the prison. I won't go into too much, but I just really like the season. I like that. I don't know. I just really like the season. Like I like the emotions that came with it, the funny moments. Like it had had a lot of funny moments, a lot of like worry moments, a lot of sad moments. It pulled a lot of emotions for me, even funny. So like that's my vote for best TV show of 2017.
I am going to go with also a Netflix show, actually, and probably not the one that people are thinking. Surprisingly enough, none of you, myself, or Jon Choi said Game of Thrones nor Stranger Things. I'm going to go with the show Master of None, which is season 2 came out this year. Master of None is a comedy drama starring Aziz Ansari, the comedian. And this season kind of proved that he is a multi-dimensional actor and writer. It has ultimately I picked this show because it has my favorite scene of any TV show that I saw this year, which is essentially just like a 5-minute scene of Aziz, his character Dev, sitting in the back of an Uber going home. And it's not meant to be funny, and it's not at all. It's actually extremely emotional because you see him. It's after something really like very serious and like turning point in the show happens, and he's just riding home, and you see him go through the whole gamut of emotions. It's a continuous shot. Like the shot doesn't break at all. It's just on him the whole time. And just witnessing like what you can feel like through the screen of what he's going through is just so awesome. And this is actually it's ultimately a really sad show. Like it is.
I've seen season 1.
Season 2 is way different. It's way different. Like it is funny at parts because Aziz is funny and he's cast other funny people in the show, but this is a drama. And it proves to you over the course of the season, as things get more and more serious, that this show is meant to make you feel something that's not just laughing at someone making stupid jokes. So, Master of None, Season 2, best show of 2017.
Check it out. All right, I'll check it out.
Director Jon Choi selected Little Witch Academia, which I think is an anime.
That's actually what my kid watches in mornings.
Awesome. So apparently
I'm
that's
joking.
I don't
I have no idea.
well, don't say that. I have no idea.
I mean, I don't know either. It sounds like a show like a kid would watch.
Well, I think it could be really good. I trust our director's opinion that it's really good. If it's his best show, there's a lot of good things that came out in 2017. If that's his best one, that's going to be a good one. So I would suggest you guys check that out in addition to these other two.
All right. I'll check
Ollie,
it out.
what's your best hero of 2017?
This one caught me by surprise, and it's probably why I liked it so much. I decided to watch The Punisher on Netflix, thinking whatever, it's The Punisher. I didn't know much about him. I didn't even like the character that much. I never liked the character. And then after watching the whole season 1, I'm just like, all right, this guy's great. It's like Logan, but +1.
Plus one on the violence scale.
Yeah. Like he's like Wolverine, but like more so on the deep end, or on the bad, whatever, evil, not evil, but like that scale of the Wolverine scale. He's all the way. He's more Wolverine. He's Wolverine, but more Wolverine. It's hard to explain.
He has less of a conscience about hurting people.
Yes, absolutely. But he also has an emotional past and background, and like you feel the character. You really do feel the character. And there's time, like it's weird. Like there's times you're cheering for him, like, all right, yeah, go do that. Yeah, you're so badass. Like you're awesome. Like this is awesome. And times you're like, all right, dude, chill. You're like, come on, man, don't go that deep. Don't go that far.
Too dark. Get too dark, Frank.
Yeah, but it was great. It was just great. I really
like Frank Castle as a character, so I think that's a good pick. And I think I think John Bernthal, who's the actor that portrays Frank Castle. Yeah, he's great. He's perfectly cast. As Marvel does with just about everything, and they perfectly cast people. It's really good at that.
But it also showed like his kind. Like he's so kind. Like he's extreme. He's like the extreme hero. He's on both ends. Yeah. Like how he acts towards the normal people and like families and like children.
He'll do anything he needs to do to protect people that he feels like need protecting, and do anything to take out the people he feels like need to not live anymore.
It's not like if you never heard The Punisher or never liked him or whatever, like just never liked him, but didn't know about him, you should definitely check it out. It's on Netflix too, and it was really good.
Director Jon Choi's selection for this is a character that I also love, and I didn't know a ton about before the initial show that she was in, was Jessica Jones. And she was in
Yeah, same world.
yeah, same world as the Punisher. She was in the Defenders this year, and she's fantastic. Kristen Ritter, again, Marvel, perfectly cast for Jessica Jones. She is like she feels the most real, in my opinion, of all of the people that like are in the Marvel Netflix universe. And
Yeah.
I think and that's not a knock on anyone else. It's really a testament. Because she's just like, I feel like she reacts how most normal people would react in the situation she's find herself in, which is just like, look, I understand I could probably help, but I really just kind of want to be left alone. I'm not interested in being in this scenario. I just want to do my job and get out. Even though she knows, and she hates the term superhero, like she despises that term, even though she knows she has abilities to be one if she wanted. So Jessica Jones is awesome. My pick is not a Marvel character. My pick is actually, for Best Hero of 2017, is Steve Harrington from Stranger Things. I was going to put Steve Harrington's hair, but since it's attached to an actual person named Steve Harrington, I went with Steve Harrington. I love Steve Harrington because he's like, in season 2 of Stranger Things, he was like the best mom. Because he was like, he loved and like protected all of the kids. And he didn't do it because
without question.
Exactly. He didn't do it because anyone was asking him to. He just felt like that was his internal instinct. Was this is my responsibility. This is what I need to do. And then it went beyond that with like not only with like physically protecting them, but emotionally and making like actual like human being connections with these kids as like a high school student. Like you don't want to hang out with like 13-year-olds.
No.
But he did because he felt like it was his duty to do that, and he legitimately cared.
Yeah, you want to.
And I loved every scene that he was in. So he gets my best hero nod.
Yeah, he was great. I liked Steve Harrington. I liked Steve Harrington as well.
All right. On the flip side, best villain of 2017.
I'm kind of cheating here. So I got two.
It was only a matter of time before one of us picked two. I thought it would be me.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Pennywise is kind of cheating because I already said it. But again, I think Pennywise was phenomenal. His character, like, he literally kills children. Like,
He eats them.
Yeah, like, how more... That's
evil
ridiculous.
Can you get? You can't.
Yeah. Yeah. So, he's my vote, or it is my vote. I don't know if it's a he or she, or it's actually a force,
it's
but it's a force. Yeah, it's a force of that world. Yeah. But if I wasn't going to do that, I was going to pick. If I couldn't pick Pennywise, I also thought the Armitage. I can't pronounce it correctly. Family, the one from Get Out.
Yes, that was going to be my second one. I couldn't remember their names too. I was going to say the family from Get Out.
Yes, that family.
That's a good pick. I think that's a better pick than Pennywise, in my opinion. Because Pennywise is like a layup. That's like a layup pick. Yeah, it's a clown that eats children, of course. Okay, yeah. So tell us about. I guess I'll let you continue on this one.
Yeah, I don't want to go too much into it in case someone wants to watch it. But the Get Out is the whole family is the enemy, and what they do to people and is just crazy, and it's just
horrific. And it's terrible. Yes.
Yeah. It was really good. The Get Out was also I enjoyed Get Out as a horror / suspense film.
Totally, I did too.
And the villains, I guess you can't really pick one, was great. So if you haven't watched it, make sure you watch that too. That's my vote.
Get Out is that's also in my top 5 movies for this year.
Yeah, it just caught you off guard too. It's just like it's not what you expect. You don't know what to expect. It's just great.
All right. Yep. My best villain is kind of the opposite of yours. I picked the Vulture, or Adrian Toomes from Spider-Man Homecoming. Vulture's portrayed by Michael Keaton. And he is honestly like he's a villain only in the sense of he is opposing the hero. Because like in the grand scheme of things, he's not even necessarily a villain. He's just kind of doing what he feels like he needs to do to make things better for his family. And he was put in a bad situation and is just trying to make the best of it. And ironically, he was put in a bad situation by a hero, which was Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And the reason that he gets my best villain of 2017 is the entire third act of Spider-Man Homecoming, when he ultimately realizes who Spider-Man is. And from that point on in the movie, he's just, even when he's not the Vulture and he's just Adrian Toomes, just everything he does, Michael Keaton just like steals all of the scenes. And he's so good. Like he was just my favorite part of the movie. I actually think he's one of the best Marvel villains just in general. What were you going to say, Ali?
I want to say in the car ride with Spider-Man was really good with Peter Parker.
That's my my favorite scene is the car ride to the prom. Is I think it's crazy because it's literally a scene that doesn't have any, no Spider-Man, no Vulture necessarily, but it's very tense and it's very well acted.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
Director Jon Choi selected Kylo Ren, which almost knocked Spider-Man off, or knocked the Vulture off my pick of best villain of 2017 for me, but didn't quite.
Surprised it didn't after last week.
I know, it was really close. It was really, really close, but I wanted to ultimately, I think the Vulture's, I guess I picked Vulture because it surprised me. He surprised me more than Kylo Ren because I kind of knew what I was getting into with Star Wars. And I really love that movie. We talked about Star Wars Last Jedi a lot last week, so if you want to hear our thoughts on that and my thoughts on Kylo Ren, you can check out our episode last week. But that was our director's pick for that. Okay, Ali, for 2017, what was your best song or album?
I really like the song. It's kind of recent too. Okay. Now it comes on the radio, so it's like cheesy, but I don't know why. But for whatever reason, I like Havana by Camila Cabello. Okay. It's just catchy. It has like a nice beat to it. Her voice is good. I don't know. I like the sound of it, and the lyrics are pretty good too. Like it's not super emotional. It's just a nice song to listen to. That's mine.
And sometimes that's all you want from music.
It's simple. Yeah. Yes, very simple.
Director Choi also picked a song. He picked Zed featuring Alicia Cara. And the song is Stay.
Cara. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check that out.
Definitely check that out. Especially if that's his best song of the entire year, you have to check it out.
Yeah, I gotta go check it out.
Okay, I could not pick a song, but I did pick an album. And my best album of 2017 is Melodrama by Lorde. This is her sophomore album. Her debut album was from 2015 and was also my favorite album of that year when it came out. Actually, maybe it came out in 2014. I think it came out in 2014, actually. Man, how time flies. Yeah, 2014.
Yeah.
Pure Heroine, but this is her follow-up album to that. I think this album is phenomenal. It is poppy, but it's like, I don't know. She just, like, her voice, which is like, it's like a little raw and raspy, but still like, kind of lulls you in, and I don't know. Lorde,
it's hard to explain.
It is hard to explain.
She's Lorde
she's
is
very.
good. Yeah.
She has a very unique voice. And the way that she just delivers her vocals is just really powerful, and it's fantastic. And I think this album is awesome. I think there was a lot of good music that came out this year. We talked about some music in our music episode a few ago, but that was also like as I went back and listened, it was like that talked about a lot about our past with music, not necessarily our present with music as much. So I think that's definitely a topic we'll have to come back to.
I think Lorde is in that genre with other girls that are like not necessarily power singers, but they're like, it's a weird category for me. Yeah. It's like Lorde, Lana Del Rey, Florence the Machine, all those women are just like kind of the same.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's not that they sound the same, but they're in the same kind of like
whatever it is they're in. Yeah, it's hard to explain. It's like I don't know exactly what it is, but it's sweet. They're sweet.
Those are all
great.
artists that I love, absolutely love.
Agreed. Yeah,
and I love Lorde melodrama. It has so many good songs on it. As I was like kind of coming up with this list, I was going through like as I was answering all of these questions, I was going through and just listening to a bunch of different albums. Like I picked out like 10 albums and I was like, I'll go back and listen to these, see which one I like the best. And then when I finally got to that one, it was like the sixth one. I was like, nope, this is the one. This is the one for sure. Yeah, so I listened to that album like 4 times that night.
Nice.
Okay. Ollie, what was your best non-Magic gaming of 2017?
Actually, for me, it's been Hex's latest expansion. It's called Hex Dead of Winter. I stream, and every time I've streamed, I've basically streamed a new deck or a modification to one of my decks. And the format just feels like it's sure you have like some of the best decks, but any deck can like come up and do well.
Yeah.
And I feel like every week I can basically make a new deck and just do well with it.
Sign of a good format.
There's I've recently been playing a competitive mill deck, which is crazy to think, but like they have that.
Sounds
and they actually
terrible.
It's not oppressive though, because there's a card if you mill it, it comes into play as a 3/3 flyer and shuffles 5 cards in the graveyard back into your deck. That card's miserable against that card destroys mill. It's really good against mill.
Good,
So
I'm glad that card exists.
And then they've actually made the Punisher mechanic work. There's a mechanic called Verdict in the game where it gives you like a light. Your opponent picks a light verdict or a dark verdict, and the light has 5 options and the dark has 5 options. The computer picks one for the opponent to pick, and it's actually punishing. It's actually one of the best decks. It's a 2/1 deck in the format, and it's crazy to me that Hex actually got the Punisher mechanic to work. And I say Punisher mechanic, it's like Browbeat, where your opponent gets to pick the outcome of the card, or Sword Point, Diplomacy.
Cards that have historically never worked in Magic outside of a 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I am going to go with the Dungeon Runs mode from Hearthstone's newest expansion, which is Cobalt Catacombs. This is something we also talked about pretty recently, and since I've had a lot more time to put in some runs in the dungeon, this is like the most fun single player content of like any game that I can remember in years. It's a blast. It's so much fun to play.
I've also done dungeon runs. I think they've been just been excellent. Yeah. I've just you get no rewards for playing them, really, no coins or anything, but still, I've just really enjoyed playing them. I cleared it through all classes, and I've cleared the mage one twice.
That's such a testament, because like in games now, especially like digital games, you really have to make something awesome for people to continually do it without a reward, because everything is so reward based, because your time is valuable. But you've made something literally so fun. It's like, I don't care what I get. The enjoyment of doing this and the challenge, because it's not easy. They're not easy. The dungeon runs are not easy. I haven't even cleared them all. I've only cleared like 5 I think I've cleared 6 now, and I still have 3 left.
I can't remember last time I played a game just to play the game for fun. Like, it's been very hard for me to do that recently.
Especially for us as Magic players, I think that's pretty common.
It's hard for me not to play an online game, because online game has that competitive aspect that I just really like. So
yeah, totally.
This is online, but it's solo, so it's kind of
but it's been a blast. Director Jon Choi selected PS4 RPG Persona 5. I'm not a video gamer, but I know he is, so I would say this recommendation comes highly.
Yeah, I used to be, but not anymore. But if I was, I'd definitely check it out. So I trust Jon Choi.
All right, our last one. What was the biggest disappointment of 2017?
My biggest disappointment was not winning the Team Open.
Yeah. In the moment. That felt... that.
Yes. looking back at it now, it's not that it sucks, but like I'm not like ass torn up. But again, I've never felt the way I felt in the top 8, in the top 4 in my life playing Magic, and it was just so weird. It was so amazing, and then it was so soul crushing because it was like the best moment ever.
Yeah.
Because we're both in it, and our Steve Mann's in it too, and like we're right there, and we top 4, and then like I've never felt the feeling of losing or winning but losing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just a new feeling for me, and
Yeah. Rough.
yeah, it sucked.
Um,
But the experience overall was great. Looking back at it now, it's fine. But in that
Still
moment,
disappointing.
it's a feeling.
yeah. I think it's fair for disappointment.
Yeah.
Director Choi selected him not winning Eternal Weekend. Okay. All right. Well, you didn't win. That's true. And also Monastery Mentor being restricted in Vintage, which made a lot of people that played Blue very sad, including myself. Not as much as Gitaxian Pro being restricted. That one hurt. I don't think I've forgiven Vintage as the format yet. I have legitimately played less Vintage since that happened. But my biggest disappointment of 2017 was the movie Alien Covenant, because I was expecting so much. I love that franchise, and I just want those movies to be good. And I like Prometheus, and Alien Covenant I just didn't think was good. I think they just had too much of the wrong stuff. I don't know. It makes me sad.
I don't remember much about it.
You and I went to go see it together.
Yeah. I don't remember much about it, which kind of like speaks to what you're saying. Like nothing really stands out. Like I remember like the robot guy was
Dave
crossbreeding aliens.
All the wrong things stand out for that movie for me, and I just like, man, I don't know. I could talk a long time about Alien Covenant, but it just makes me sad to think about.
I'm sorry.
But you know
Justin.
what?
Sorry.
We can end this podcast on a good note, because
our next section is going to be awesome.
We have coming up in just a moment. We are going to talk about the future of the podcast you're listening to, Think Twice. So we're going to be back in just a minute. We're going to get ourselves all prepared, get bundled up, and get excited to give you guys all of this awesome information. So we're going to be back in just a moment with that info. All right, so believe it or not, we are 24 episodes in. This is episode number 24. The beginning of 2018, next week, we're going to be going to episode 25, which is the quarter century mark, which is a pretty awesome accomplishment for us, I think, for this show. And for the listeners, because you guys have been the reason we've got to this point, honestly.
No, I agree. It's been awesome. When we first started, it was exciting, it was new, and now it feels more than just it feels more than just you and me.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it is.
Yeah, we obviously started just because me and you.
This is something we'd actually been talking about for a couple years.
Yeah.
And, we finally decided to do it, and have.
I finally convinced you somehow through email message.
You did. But here we are, and we're going into our second year with the podcast, and that's awesome. And we have, you, myself, our director, we all sat down last month, and we kind of talked about where we wanted this show to go, what we wanted this to turn into, how we wanted to give back to our supporters. And the main way that we're going to be able to do that is through Patreon. A lot of you guys are supporting us now through Patreon, and that's awesome. You guys have allowed this show to continue, and unbeknownst to you, you've actually allowed us to make these grand plans for the future. So first, Ollie, I want to go over kind of our goals for 2018, and then I'll talk about the ways that everyone can support us and what they're going to get out of that support. Does that sound good?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
So right now we have one goal on our Patreon. And of course, this is patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. So as you're listening, you might be able to go over that. We're going to be slowly updating all of this stuff over the next week. But our goal right now is to reach $100 of support per episode. And once we reach that goal, we're going to add on a vodcast to the podcast. So our primary form of recording is going to become a face-to-face discussion between Ollie and myself. It's going to be a production where we're going to be able to move this to our kind of physical viewing channels. We already have a YouTube page, but that page is going to become a lot more active when we're able to add the vodcast portion onto the podcast. The podcast won't go anywhere, so if you're listening on iTunes or SoundCloud or any of your podcast applications that you have, that's not going to go anywhere. That won't change. But if you...
We're just adding on our faces and our reactions and emotions.
We're adding on our faces, reactions. If we talk about cards will pop up. If we are talking about movies, we'll have that in there. And this is where, we've kind of been preparing for this. We have our graphic designer, Amber West, has prepared a lot of really awesome stuff for us. And we're really excited to get really close to reaching that goal. And we're pretty close right now. But we've added...
Yeah, right now we are at $81 out of 100. So we're very close to it.
We're very close. And once we reach that goal, we're going to be looking towards our next goal. And this is going to be... That's something that's going to be tied to our Patreon tiers. And once we reach $150 for per episode
on Patreon,
we're going to be able to begin distributing the first wave of tokens that we are having made. Think Twice tokens. One of Ollie, one of myself. And this is going to be one of the first things, one of two things that we have gotten Dios Reveredo or at Dios Boss on Twitter to create first. He's a Brazilian artist. He does an awesome job. You guys should definitely check out his art. But he's actually going to be doing some tokens for us that we're having him that are being done right now. It actually should be done really soon. Once we reach that $150 plateau, we're actually going to be able to start distributing tokens. We'll get to how you can get the tokens in a second, but once that goal gets reached, that's when those tokens can go into production, like physically making the tokens. Goal number 3, once we reach $200 of support per episode, as long as that tier is unlocked, we will do a monthly live Think Twice AMA, which is an Ask Us Anything, that we're calling Deep Analysis. We're going to have a topic set up where you guys are going to be able to directly interact with us on a live show once a month for as long as that goal is active. As long as we have that $200 per episode goal, we're going to be able to have this monthly show where you guys, anyone that wants, could come in. We'll have it on a Twitch channel and can interact with us.
You can ask about Justin's hair. Yep. You can ask about my dogs. You can ask about Christian's presents. You can ask about what I have in the background of my camera. It's gonna be great.
You guys can ask us whatever you want. We'll have like a topic that we'll kind of fall back on as like our main discussion point. But this will be kind of your time to interact with us in a viewable, interactable setting. So we're really excited about that.
How much toilet paper I have left?
What?
How much toilet paper I have left?
What does that mean?
You can ask me anything. Okay. How much toilet paper do you have? I don't know. You gotta wait for that $200.
So let's talk about how we could reach these goals. Because obviously, we want to be able to give back to you guys in the form of our time and stuff. So we have actually completely revised our reward tiers that we're going to be rolling out at the turn of the year, which is going to be in just a few days. So we've gone from 2 tiers to going to be having 6 tiers, and then a 7th tier added shortly in the future. So I'm going to go down the line. And if you guys, if you're listening in a car or at work, you should be able to check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/ThinkTwiceMTG, to see all of these tiers in action, so you can get a more thorough rundown. But we're gonna give you a little tidbit right here to get you started. So, tier number 1. This is the tier one of the tiers we have right now. This is the Augur of Bolus tier. As long as you are able to support $1 per episode, you're going to get early access to the show. This is kind of our tier where we just thank you for supporting us, and for that thanks, we're going to give you 1 day early access to the show on our Patreon. This is the lowest level tier. Doesn't come with a whole lot, but it's kind of just your way of supporting us just by chucking in a buck, which we would appreciate, because anything allows this show to continue and get bigger and better. Tier 2 is going to be the Agent of Erebos tier. Of course, Erebos, being the best god, is one that we've selected to represent this tier.
I disagree, but keep going.
He's one of the best. Do you dispute that he's one of the best?
He's one of the best. I agree.
One of the best. If you had to rank them between 1 and 1, we can both agree.
All right. The Agent. How much is the
Agent of Erebos is a $3 support tier, and the Agent of Erebos tier is going to get you our weekly Commander Deck of the Week post. Most of the time, this is going to be done by me. I would say 90+% of the time. Every once in a while, I've always feeling extra froggy.
Oh yeah, maybe a new legendary creature.
Maybe a new legendary creature,
or maybe a legendary planeswalker. That's Commander or something. Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw it in a little bit, but for the most part, this is going to be if you are a supporter on Patreon right now at the Disciple of Bolus tier, you're getting this already. We're moving this to $3, the $3 Agent of Erebos tier. So this is going to get you the weekly Commander Deck of the Week post, as well as a poll that allows you to vote on that to see what type of deck you'd want me to post for the next week, as well as all the rewards for the lower tiers. Now, moving on up, we have our $5 Disciple of Bolus tier. This is a tier that we have right now also. This is now going to, in addition to getting you a shout-out during the wrap-up, which we do right now, you're going to start getting a guaranteed bi-monthly Ollie's Journal post. And
so an Ollie's Journal post is going to be essentially a look into Ollie's journal. So I sometimes carry a journal around with me at tournaments. I'll put down like notes, deck ideas, brews, like one was Master Transmuter, or cool cards that I'm thinking about for formats, etc., etc. This can vary from decks, deck ideas, maybe even like something I'm speccing, like card I think will go up in price when new set comes out. Basically just, it's my journal. It's my journal for Magic, and whatever goes in there, you guys will have access to. But instead of just being unreadable because of how I write, it'll be nice, concise, and nice, concise, and to the point in my journal.
yes.
And this will be twice a month.
And there could be times like when a new set comes out that you might have more posts, like if as cards get spoiled and you're thinking about new decks, but you will get guaranteed a twice a month Ollie's Journal post. In addition to that, for the Disciple of Bolus tier, you're going to get access to our Patreon only, our Disciple of Bolus tier and up Discord channel. This is a channel for you guys to chat about the show, and myself, Ali, Director Choi, to chime in and chat with you guys every once in a while too. And that's something that will happen immediately as long as you're at that level. You're going to have access to that
You'll
Discord
be invited.
channel. Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, now the big changes.
You also for that tier though, you also do get a shout out during wrap up.
Just like we're doing now. If you are able, if you support us at that tier, we will give you a shout out every once in a while during the wrap up.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to be adding a $10 tier,
Woo!
Erebos' Emissary tier. And was that a boo? That was a woo, right?
That was Erebos' tier,
it was a woo.
so I don't know.
Yeah, it was a woo. Okay, just to
It's
be
still
clear,
a woo.
yes.
It's still a woo.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to give you two different things, and they're two really awesome things. The Erebos' Emissary tier, once we get to our stretch goal of $150 per episode, the first wave of tokens is going to be released. Once we hit that, if you are an Erebos' Emissary supporter, once a month, you will be able to be mailed a set of ThinkTwice tokens. That's going to get you an Ali token. That's going to get you a Justin token. These will be mailed directly to you. You don't have to pay any extra. If you are at some point during the month, at the end of the month, if you were a supporter at this tier, you will get mailed a pair of tokens. It's that simple. And our second thing that we're having commissioned by Dias Riveredo is we're going to be having a very special ThinkTwice playmat created. And this is the reward tier you're able to get it. As long as you have supported the show for 4 episodes of support at the Erebos' Emissary tier, you will be able to be shipped one time a ThinkTwice playmat. This playmat it's not quite done, but we're going to show it to you guys really soon. But it's so freaking awesome.
It's going to be sweet. And keep in mind, in this tier, you will get the playmat no matter if we reach the stretch goal or not. The stretch goal is if we reach $150, you will also get the tokens. Right. For $10, you will 100% get the playmat. And once we reach our stretch goal of 150 per episode, you will also get the pair of tokens.
And the tokens, as long as you're supporting this at least once a month, you can get a set of tokens once a month.
Every month.
The playmat is a one-time thing for support at this tier as long as you have been supporting at this tier for 4 episodes. But once you hit that 4-episode mark, and so for example, in February, if you've been supporting this for a month, when we do our mail out, which is going to be at the beginning of every month, beginning of every month, then you'll get sent a playmat directly to you. You don't have to pay anything else, just for your support at this tier. This also includes everything from the lower tiers, as we've said every time, as all future tiers will include everything below it. Okay. $15 Courser of Crewfix tier.
Ooh, baby.
This is a good one. Ollie, this one's all you. So I'm gonna let you take this one away.
All right. So now we have Courser of Crewfix. The best god, obviously. So for $15 you do $15 per episode. I will take one of your decks and basically give you a review on it. So you give me any constructed deck. You give me a legacy, modern, standard, whatever deck. I'll contact you after the pay period is done. I'll ask you for a deck list if you have one. Keep in mind that the more innovative the deck is, the more I will be able to get back to you.
If you send Ollie an energy deck, he's going to be like, yeah, you probably should change this land out.
Yeah, I'll give you good advice for sure. I'll give you my advice on what I think, but it won't be as much as if you give me something like a Master Transmuter deck in Modern, or a Glittering Wish deck in Modern, or a land deck in Legacy that's different than what we have, or ad nauseam deck with lands, or whatever, or sneakish attack.
Who knows? Your wildest dreams.
Yes. The more innovative the deck is, the more I'll be able to help you. So, if you're making a deck or trying to make a deck for a format, this is where I'll be able to help you the most.
Yes. So, and Ollie, just to make sure, if you have supported at the end of every month, if you have supported at the Courser of Crewfix tier at least once during that month, you'll be eligible for what we're calling an Ollie's Deck Doctor submission.
Yes, I will basically message you like, hey, you are eligible for Deck Doctor's deck doctor submission, and you can give me a deck list then, or if you want, you can hold on to it. And once you get 4 emails from me, if you haven't used them all, or if you haven't used any of them, you will be able to do a live Ollie's Deck Doctor
segment on the show.
Yes.
So let's say you've been supporting at this tier for at least one time a month for 5 months. Month 1, you're like, I don't really feel like doing the Deck Doctor this month. Month 2, I don't feel like doing the Deck Doctor this month. Month 3, you're like, I want to do the Deck Doctor submission. So you submit a Deck Doctor deck to Ali. He sends it back to you with his feedback. Then month 4, I don't want to do it. Month 5, all right, this is my 4th month. I have 4 saved up months now of not doing it. I want to turn my 4 months of support into a deck that you guys will discuss on a live Deck Doctor segment on Think Twice.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. You guys send us a deck that we will talk about and dissect on the podcast, give you our thoughts on the deck and what we think about it. I think that's pretty exciting.
So you can essentially trade in 4 submissions for a live segment. Now, ultimately, this does take a few months worth of support because you need to at least receive 4 of those "Do you have a submission?" emails for the Deck Doctor segment. But once you reach 4 that you haven't used, you can trade those in for a live Deck Doctor. So I'm really excited about that too. Even though this is mainly going to be Ollie's thing, I'm going to see all the decks too. So I can't wait to see what you guys cook up for him to doctor up.
I like that. There we go.
So we have a tier that is going to be the $20 tier that is going to be called the Profit of Krufix tier. Now, this tier does not...
Is it banned?
It is right now, because it doesn't exist yet. This is going to be a ghost tier. This is going to be something that we're going to revisit. We have some ideas, but this is going to be a streaming-based tier, most likely closely linked to MTG Arena when that comes out. So we are going to have a $20 tier, but it's just not going to exist yet. And once we get to the point where we can make this live, we will certainly alert you guys on that, but we're not quite to this point yet. So it's not going to be live, not going to be selectable. The final frontier. You get it?
Aha!
Yes. The final frontier is going to be our $30 tier. This is going to be the Agent of Bolus tier. There's only 4 slots available for this tier. So a maximum of 4 of you can be supporters at this level. This gets you 2 things. In addition to everything below, so you still get the Ollie's Deck Doctor, you still get monthly Think Twice tokens, you still get a playmat, you still get Ollie's Journal post, you still get Commander Decks of the Week, you still get a shout out. You will also get, at the end of each episode that you're supporting at this tier, you will be listed as a producer for Think Twice. Full name, whatever name you would like to submit, you're going to be listed as a producer. At this point, we believe if you're at this tier, we're probably going to be hitting our first stretch goal of replacing the primary focus of our show as a vodcast. So you will be listed at the end of the vodcast as a producer. Now, that's a pretty good thing because you get a shout out as our most supporting supporters. But that is not the only thing you get. This is the first time that I've publicly done this, but I'm actually going to be offering up to 4 people at this tier. You are able to work with me directly and personally on a deck list for Commander Versus. This is a deck that you and I will work on together as a collaboration for an episode of Commander Versus. Now, there's only 4 slots available for this. You're also required to have 4 episodes, just episodes, any 4 episodes of support at this tier before you're available for a collaboration. So, if you want to continually support at this level, essentially for 12 months worth of support, I will try to work with you as much as I can on collaborations for Commander Versus. This is something I'm personally really excited about. I know a lot of you out there have wanted to work with me on this type of stuff before, And this is a way for you to support us and me to support you at the same time. And I know only 4 slots for this it's, I don't know how quickly these are going to fill up. I think there are going to be people interested. So if you don't get one of these first 4 slots, hopefully at some point one will open back up. But that's essentially all that I have available to give of my time on the show. But I hope that we're able to do that, and for the Agent of Bolus tier supporters, that we can make some really awesome decks, and you'll be supporting Think Twice in addition to doing that, so everybody wins.
Man, I hope someone asks you to build a Phoenix deck or some Sandy
If you
really deck or some
want
deck.
to pay money to troll me, you know what? I'll work with you on it. I'm open. Open to everything.
Please, someone make Justin build the best mill deck.
I can do it.
And
I can do it. If I was asked, if someone wants to support us so much that they really want me to play a mill deck, you know what? I'd do it for them. I'd do it for the fam. I'd do it for the Think Twice fam.
Yeah, someone please do it. I want to see this.
Well, if you were able to reach that Agent of Bolus support tier and we have those open, that can be you. If you want, it can be
man,
you.
I hope so. I'm excited.
So those are our tiers. Augur Bolus, Agent of Erebos, Disciple of Bolus, Erebos' Emissary, Courser of Krufix, Prophet of Krufix, and of course, Agent of Bolus at the very top. We're going to be setting those live over the course of the next few days. So by the time you're listening to this, there's a good chance that all of these support tiers are live. We're really excited about all of these support tiers and what the future kind of holds. Hopefully we can hit...
For Think Twice.
Absolutely. Hopefully we can hit these goals so we can get the vodcast going. We can start getting the tokens out. We can start doing our live show. And honestly, guys, those of you that have supported us, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we always say it at the end, but you know what? Thank you.
And we hope that all of these things that you guys are seeing, that we really want to get you guys involved fully.
Yeah, we are trying to give as much back as you put in. We're trying to make tokens for you. We're trying to interact with you. I'm trying to do deck doctors and trying to do commander versus. Like, we're trying to interact with you as much as we can for what you give us. We're trying to do Ask Me Anything shows or Twitch streams. Like, we want to engage with you. We want to be a family with you. We appreciate the support, and we are showing you that we do. So thank you again.
Yes. I know you guys are like, we want to see these tokens and playmats in due time. I promise.
They're coming.
They're coming. And they're freaking sweet.
Yes, they'll be out before the second weekend of January.
They're coming soon. Over sometime in the next early January. They're coming. We'll post them on the Patreon. Man, I'm so psyched. I'm so psyched.
I'm pumped. I've seen some slight peeks at it, and man, I am. It's sweet. They're sweet. They're really good.
I'm jazzed. Ollie, anything else for the future of Think Twice?
For the future, Think Twice. No, I'm just ready. I'm excited. I'm ready, and I hope we all hit everything.
I hope so too. Thank you guys for helping us do this, really, because we want to do this for you. We want to make this for you. We know that this is something that we're asking for your support, but we want to give it back. And honestly, if you have things that you have suggestions of support tiers and things we could do, let us know. We would love to get your feedback. Some of these things are based on your feedback of things that people have asked us, asked myself, or asked Ali, that we're finally able to do, that we're really happy to do. But if there's anything else, we would love to hear that from you guys too.
We're always looking for ways to improve.
That's right. Whew. Okay, Ollie, I think that's the show for this week and for the year.
It's crazy, man. Happy New Year, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you guys won't hear us until 2018. That seems so far away, but it's right around the corner. Okay. Well, in that case, we are going to jump out for just a moment. And when we come back, we're going to wrap up and talk a little bit about the future. All right. We're here, 2018. Instead of telling me what you're going to do next week, tell me about your entire year. Go.
Great.
Great. Excellent. That's good. That's a good start.
There we go. Fantastic. Exciting.
I'm looking forward to starting a new year. I like New Year's. I'm not a big on like the New Year's resolution. I don't really like doing those, but
I'm not either. But I like having
like the clean start. You know?
Yeah, it feels like a clean start. And it's not necessarily a clean start, but it feels like, hey, this is a new chapter.
Exactly. That's a great way to look at it. And especially, we just talked about all of the things that we're going to be doing for the podcast in 2018. And I'm really happy that we're to the point where we can start doing some of that stuff. Because this is stuff that we've talked about for a long time.
Yeah. And so much can happen. So much can happen in a year. So much can happen in a year.
I can't wait to see, let's see, 52 episodes. So when we're at episode 56,
and looking
this
back
time
at
next year,
this episode, I can't wait.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
we have
to reflect.
We have you guys to thank. Seriously,
pools of reflection or reflecting pool. That's what we'll call it. Last episode of.
You know what?
Next year,
this is going to be. This is going to be called the reflecting 2017 reflecting pool. The name of this episode.
All right, cool.
Perfect.
Like that.
You did it. You named it on the podcast. Congratulations.
Yeah, there we go. And then next year it'll be 2018.
Exactly. Perfect.
Fucking
See,
cool.
look, that's one in the bank. I don't have to think of episode names for only 51 more.
Beautiful.
Ollie, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch at www.twitch.com/Ali Aintrazi or www.twitter.com/Ali Aintrazi. My Gathering Magic article come out every Friday at gatheringmagic.com. There are great ways to find set reviews there, or just my brews, or what decks I'm playing, or what decks I'm looking at. I try to review decks that are new, so that's also a good way to find me. And you can also find me on Patreon, where we will be posting my journal and my Justin stuff. So that's also a good place to contact us too.
Absolutely.
So.
You can find me on Twitter also. I'm at jparnell1 on Twitter, and of course, I'm the host of the Commander vs. series on StarCityGames.com and YouTube. We just had our holiday episode that came out just a few days ago. We played with unstable commanders. It was a blast, literally and figuratively. I'm not joking. It was literally a literal blast. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you just got to go watch the episode and watch. See what happens. You haven't watched it. Go watch it. Go watch it. I'm talking to you.
I'll go watch it. I'll go watch it.
All right. You can contact the show. Think Twice MTG on Twitter or thinktwicemtg@gmail.com. If you want to find the show, you can find us on SoundCloud. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on YouTube. We would love for you to share the show if you possibly can. Get as many earballs listening to it. That would be a great way for you to support us. In addition to that, we'd love for you to leave some comments on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, leave a review on iTunes. Some of you have left comments on YouTube. Sometimes, for some reason, we don't see those immediately, but we're going to try to do a better job of making sure we check that so we can communicate with you guys that are leaving comments, especially on YouTube, as that becomes a more important format for us going forward.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, you can support the show. As we just talked about for about 30 minutes, you can support the show patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. This is the primary place that you are going to be able to find to support our show in addition to sharing it. We are really close to our first support tier of $100 to allow us to do a vodcast in addition to the podcast. We outline some other goals and other tiers that we're going to be doing really quick. So you guys already heard a bunch about Patreon, so we just want to talk about our newest Patreon supporter, our new Disciple Bowls tier supporter, Sean C. Sean, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support.
Yeah, thank you, man. We appreciate it. You are part of the Think Twice
The Think Twice fam. Hashtag Think Twice
Thank you, buddy.
fam.
I like that. That's what we should do. Hashtag Think Twice fam.
Yeah. We have one more thing. As you guys noticed, we didn't have a question of the week this week. And that is because we're going to be having a crap ton of questions a week. Every single thing that we talked about on the show today, all the best and worst for 2017, we're going to throw all those, I'm going to throw all those up on Twitter. And you're going to be able to vote to see what is the actual best of 2017 and what is the actual worst of 2017. I know our director did not know this before. He's listening to it now and he's like, what the hell are you guys doing? But that's what we're doing. I've decided.
It's a nice thing to do in the year. It's a nice thing
this
to
is
do.
not going to be normal. We're going to go back next week. We're going to go back to doing just one question of the week.
But
of course.
This is just nice and big bang for
the end of the year for the 2017 reflecting pool episode.
Yep.
So, 14 questions of the week if you guys are ready for it. You guys can let us know who is the winner of each of those. Who is the best and worst of 2017? Now, going into next week, Ollie, tell me if you think I'm lying or not when I tell you this. By this time next week, the entire set of Rivals of Ixalan is going to be spoiled. True or false? True.
False. Oh my god, I'm ready.
Well, get ready. So next week, fortunately, Magic Story does not come back until 2 weeks from now. Because next week, we're probably going to spend a ton of time talking about Rivals of Ixalan. We're going to try to hit our pop culture in too, but a good 2/3 of the podcast is going to be reviewing Rivals of Ixalan as much as we possibly can. And an abbreviated preview period. Okay. As always, we want to give our special thanks to Director Jon Choi, graphic designer Amber West, best co-host on the whole planet, Ali Aintrazi, and hashtag Think Twice fam. That's you guys.
Hashtag Think Twice fam. Happy New Year's, guys, again. Happy New Year's, and we'll see you on the other side.
We love you guys. Thanks so much.